Good morning. Hello, welcome. How is everybody? There are a few of you here already. I am early, just a little bit early, but early. I'm wearing my Cobra Corsage viscose jersey cowl neck tee from Sew Over It, which I very much like, although I'm getting really bad itchy skin and I don't know what it is, and I haven't used anything different. We haven't changed anything, but yeah, it's just not good. I'm getting really big, bad dry patches on the tops of my arms, which, you know, just one of those things, but never mind. I think it's just a change in sort of temperatures and central heating and those kinds of things. Trisha's here. She says, morning, afternoon, shiny peeps. Looking forward to today's hangout, as always. Good morning, Trisha. Welcome. Yvonne says, morning, everyone. I'm a little early. Looking forward to the hangout. I'm a little early as well, Yvonne. You're in good company. Caroline's here. Morning, peeps. Thank you for all the knitting books, Caroline. That was so sweet of you. I had to look through, and there are at least one or two in each one that I like, so thank you for that. Elena says, good afternoon, lovely shiny peeps. Good afternoon. Tristan's here. I hope I've got that right. Artie Blade, good morning. Just remind me, I think I've got that right. I think I have. Jennifer says, hello from Oz. Looking forward to the hangout tonight. Good evening, Jennifer. So, as I've said, I think what I would like to do is go through my decorative boxes. You can see 3 here. These 2 are trims and pretty things. This is lining fabrics, although I think there's quite a lot of polyester in there, so I might actually put that on the to be sent out pile, because we all know how I feel about polyester. Caroline says, thought you might like them. We do indeed, thank you. I haven't shown them all to Mum yet. I've let her know that you sent them, but I haven't shown them to her yet, but we do like them. Thank you, Caroline. Sewing in PJ says, hello, glad public holiday tomorrow so I can hang out again tonight. Ah, awesome. Tristan says I got it right. Yay! Civ Brain is kind of retaining some information, which is good. So yeah, there's those ones. There's that one, which I think has got my press stud attachments for my rivet press. I've got a large one up there, which is the overflow of patterns that I got rid of last September, and I still haven't listed them for sale anywhere, and I really just need to get that done. Then there's some trims. I don't remember what's in that one up there. I've got one down here, which I think is projects to be done. I've got a load. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, I've got loads up there. And as you can see, some of them are labelled, but the majority of them aren't. And it is about this time last year that I was unpacking and organising the sewing room, ready to get into sewing mode. And there was a lot of unpacking and organising to do. And I still like going back and watching those videos, because it's just really fun seeing it all to come together. But I haven't touched some of these boxes for, oh, that one up there is lingerie. I haven't touched some of these boxes for a very, very long time. And I would like to refresh my memory as to what's in them. I didn't think this all the way through. I would like to put stickers on them. So like I've got with my zips over here, I would like to put some stickers on so that I know what is in those boxes at a glance without having to get them down and have a look at them. Some of them I remember, as you've seen, but some of them just need a little bit more reminding. So I think that's what we're going to do today. I have sewn very little this week. I got the skirts finished. I think that's it. Gosh. I'm glad I've got the skirts finished. I still have my giant pile of stuff to do here, which I will get to, and it will get done. Yeah, it's coming back slowly. The kind of like the joy of sewing is coming back slowly, which is good. Chris says, hi, Sean and Peeps from Australia. Hello, good evening. Susan says, good evening, Sean. Looking forward to the hangout. Thank you, Susan. Welcome. I have caffeine-free Coke. Dad found, because it's not in the shop all the time, but it is at the moment. My dad very kindly bought me 2 bottles because I've been eating so much sugar. I've been, which was really stupid, but you guys know why I've been comfort eating. Oh no, hopefully it's come back. But yeah, you guys know why I've been comfort eating for the last couple of months. So thankfully, I have not put any weight on. I have maintained my weight, so that's good. Caroline says, I have a couple of the files that are too big, so I'll put on a USB stick for the next meetup. Oh, awesome, Caroline. Thank you so much. Sue says, hello all from Sydney, Australia. Good evening. Trisha says, really enjoyed the video with your mum and you going through what she had knitted for you. My mum was the knitter, me the sewist. I made her blouses and skirts and she knitted my jumpers and cardies. Yeah, we did start out with a deal with everything that mum knit for me. I would make something for her. And I think that was when I was making commissions for the general populace, you know, people that were paying me for commissions. And I think mum got fed up of not having me not having enough time to actually get through to the things that she would like. So she ended up deciding to get into garment sewing herself and is very good at it. Jennifer says, agree. I love seeing all the knitting also. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. And mum was really nervous about it because she hasn't been on camera for a while. So it was good. It was really good. Janet says, good morning, 4 a.m. Good grief. From Canada. Janet, that's very early. Good morning. Elena says, yesterday's video with your mum was lovely. Oh, thank you so much. Christine says, hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. So where should we start? Should we start with the pretty boxes? Let me see if I can find some sticker paper. I know I've got some in my button box, but I think I've got some down here, although I might have taken it all up to the main house, which I think might be. No, I've got some sticker paper. I have sticker paper, which is good because I do want to label these boxes. So I'm going to need my paper scissors, which are behind you. Go get those. And a pen that works. You think I have lots of those, but pen that works. So I'm actually going to chop off the bottom of this sticker because that floating free up there is annoying me. Oh, I've got 3 boxes back there, blimey. See, this is why I want to do this, because I have absolutely no idea what is in any of these. So, oh, my alphabet letters. Empty. And I think this one's empty as well. Yes. And this one is also empty. So let's start with some labeling. Let's see, where did I get to? Janet says, cat snuggles woke me up. Oh, bless. Is the sun starting to come up and they're just like, aha, the sun's up, so we must be up. Wake up, human, you're missing the best hunting time. Okay. There we go. So these are alphabet appliques. Alphabet. And this pen is terrible. That's better, much nicer. Okay. Really would like one of those label makers, but they're quite expensive. There we go. So that's one done. Which one should we do next? Should we do one that I'm not sure what's in, or should we do the pretty trims one? Want to get the pretty trims out. Of course, we're going to do that one. Where did we get to with the chat? Evie says, good morning, everyone. 5 a.m. here. Wow. Judy's here. Hello, peeps. Hi, Judy. Bethany says, morning. I've missed the last 2 hangouts, so it's nice to be back. It's lovely to see you, Bethany. And that dress that you have just finished, oh, it is beautiful. Evie says, trying to actually make something this time. Nice. Mim says, hi, Shan. I hope you are feeling better, and hello, peeps. Yes, thank you so much for bearing with me last week. I was like a bit of a blubbery mess, wasn't I? Not saying that that's not going to happen this time if that subject comes up. Yeah, definitely not over it, but never mind. I have lots to look forward to. This week is so exciting. We've got lots of the cousins, my mum's cousins, coming for a evening meal. We were supposed to be hosting it at Larcombe, but Ruth had a family emergency, so we weren't able to. But they're coming anyway, so we're seeing them on Tuesday evening. And then my best friend arrives from Ipswich on Friday. The very lovely Jojo arrives on Friday as well. Rachel and Erica are arriving on Saturday. And then on Tuesday, it's the first day of the sewing retreat, which I am so excited about. So, yeah. Kirsten says, hi from Germany. Hello. H says hello. Hello, welcome. Debbie's here. Hi all. I'm going to see you soon, Debbie. I'm so excited. Mary says, good morning from North Carolina. Good morning. Michelle says, good morning from Bermuda. This is my favorite Sunday morning activity. Good morning, Michelle. Kathy says, good morning, Sean. Good morning. So should we have a look at the pretty trims first before we start? Because then we can get out the lining box. I think that's a good idea. Like, I have a cubby hole, this one here, for lining fabrics. So I'm kind of wanting to not have a box with lining in it as well, because I never go for this box. I always go into this cubby hole for the lining fabrics, which makes sense because it's much more easily accessible. So yeah, this one is one of my favorites. Look how beautiful. Whoa. So yeah, I mean, we really don't need to go through all of this again, but it's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. Like these ones, I've got 2 of them. I'm planning on putting them up at the front of a dress, a white dress. And then I've got lots of just the plain leaves to kind of match in with it as well. Yeah, there's lots of pretty bling in here. Lots of pretty bling. I bought this for a specific dress and I've just never got around to making it, but look how pretty that is. So I have organized this. I don't really need to go like get everything out and have a look through it because I do know what's in here apart from random empty bag. So I just need to put a label on it. I mean, to be fair, I do kind of remember what's in these ones because it is my favorite boxes. But you know what? We're labeling everything, so let's do that. So we've got the lengths of trim in there, and then this one is packets of appliques, which technically those top ones that were in there should probably be in here. Oh, and got some faux fur as well, which I want to use to make pom-poms. So technically, mind you, if I start doing that, there's quite a lot in that bigger box that should probably be in that smaller box as well. So let's just put trims. Always trying to get the backing paper off these stickers. trims and trims. Debbie says very excited. So Boho says morning peeps from Comber County Down. Good morning. Is it still morning? I think it's probably just afternoon now. Elena says sometimes blubbery mess is something needed to get Sojo back. Yeah, definitely. I did feel a lot kind of lighter after that hangout last week. You know, I wasn't hiding it, I just wasn't ready to talk about it. And I clearly wasn't ready last week either, as we saw. But it was nice to kind of not be worrying about when the subject was going to come up, because it's just talked about now, it's just done. So yeah. Debbie says, ooh, pretties. Yes. Trisha says pretty. So Boho says, oh, they would look pretty on a corset. They would, actually, they would indeed. And I've got a lot of just the leafy ones, so it might end up with something like that being sewn on other things as well. Elena says, so much prettiness. Yes. Sewing in PJ says, when you wore your new skirt over your dress, you were talking about clashing prints and thought you could get away with those two prints. I agree. I would never have had those in my wardrobe and thought they work together, but they do. Yeah, there are like kind of guidelines for getting away with print clashing, and one of them is keep the colors the same. So the mulberry kind of background color was the same for both of those prints, but mix up the size of the prints, because if you have two, so the Cobra Corsage is a very large print. So if I had like Cobra Corsage on top, and then do you remember when I tried on the turquoise Cobra Corsage viscose top that I made, the cow neck one with the black skirt, and they didn't work? And you'd think that they would, but the colouring in the snakes and bugs was slightly different between the two. And because they're both really large prints on obviously different coloured backgrounds, they clashed with each other rather than complement each other, even though it was exactly the same print. But the rule of thumb is kind of like different sizes of different prints kind of work well together. And I do really like that outfit, and I am going to wear that outfit. I do love that petal viscose, and it comes in a lot of colours. So it probably won't be out of the realms of possibility that I would get some more in a different colourway, because it is just so lovely. We all know I like a good viscose. Right. Now that is a Brem silk lining from McCulloch and Wallace. That's the leftovers of Liberty silk. This one is a polyester from Saudi Arabia, but it's not too bad for lining sleeves of jackets. This one is fancy. And this one's fancy. This one is Cupro, which I didn't enjoy working with. That one's fancy. That one is a polyester as well. This one is definitely polyester, but I got it for lining a coat. This one is from Saudi. That's polyester. That's polyester. Like, I've got some really nice ones in here, as well as some of the kind of not so nice ones. Maybe, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? That one's definitely poly, and so is that one. And so is that one. And that one. And that one. This one is not. That's poly. This is not poly either. And haven't got very much of those ones though, but I do have. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is there's actually quite a lot of plain ones in here, and I think what I'll do is I'll keep them in here because the ones I've got over here, the majority of them are patterned or they're really nice lining fabrics. These are all the Brem silk ones from McCulloch and Wallace, which are lovely and actually quite expensive. But I am going to put them back in here because there are tiny little amounts of them. But now, again, refreshing my memory. So if I want to line a coat sleeve or a full coat, probably just coat sleeves, but with those polyester ones, that would be fine. And then the Brem silk ones are on top. I think that's a plan. Right, I'm going to put this back so I've got some room to write the label for it. Okay, so plain lining fabrics. Where did I get to with the chat? Evie says she seemed like a weight had been lifted. Yeah. Linda says, good morning from gorgeous Cheshire. Good morning, Linda. Evie says, I'm attempting a pinafore for the first time. Any tips or things to look out for with no pattern? I've never made a pinafore because all the ones that I've seen that are no pattern ones wouldn't fit over my boobs. I'd need some shaping in them. I would try and line the bib if you can, but that's because that's how the finish I prefer. Oh, let's not. Don't disturb that. That would be bad. Anyone else? Oh, I forgot to put the Liberty silk back in. That was silly. Let's do that and hopefully not knock over everything. If I had more room in my lining cubby hole, which is this one, if I had more room, I would take these out and fold them up properly and put them in here. But this, as you can see, is full. So I'm going to leave it as is. Right. Oh, here we have my lingerie box of all the stuff I got in my advent calendar, the actual advent calendar bags itself, and then kits that I've bought over the years as well, which are separated into kits. I am going to get the lingerie making this year at some point. But I'm going to put the Lingerie supplies. Lingerie surprise, because I did forget for a little while what was in that box. And these labels will come off really easily when I change what's in there. They won't damage the boxes, which is good. Now, this one might prove a little bit of a problem because this is textured, and I found that the stickers don't like sticking to these textured finishes. My 2 file folders that I've got up there with all your cards and letters and stuff that you've sent me over the years, I did have stickers on them to say what they were, and they just peeled off. So yeah, these are my favorite chocolates in the entire world. They are incredibly expensive. This box of 9 was £15.50, and I thought it was my 2nd year anniversary present from Wilson, and it turns out it was actually from Tatty, just because. But I think these boxes are so beautiful that I keep them, because this one came without like a name on it. So I said thank you to him, and he was like, I haven't sent you anything. It's like, oh. And it turns out my best friend had. So, but it's such a pretty box that I keep it. It's like the Hotel Chocolat Easter box that we got. The one with the flip up lid and then the drawer in it. I'm keeping that. I don't know what I'm going to put in it, but I'm keeping it because it is just so beautiful. This is my overflow of trims. These are the ones I got from Pit Trading. So that's the circle insertion trim, which I am convinced is a Zimmerman trim, and then the edging one. I don't think I bought enough of this. I've got 5 meters of each. The insertion trim probably, but I think I probably should have bought a lot more of the circle trim, the edging trim, because we all know the size of skirts that I like. There's some decorative rickrack in there, and then this is the giant rickrack trim as well, which again was from Pit Trading. And this is the insertion, and this is the edging. And again, I probably should have got more of the edging than I did. But never mind. Never mind. They still have it available. So if I ever feel flush again, I will put it in my cart and order myself some more. I kind of know what I want to do with both of them. I need some the circles I wanted to go with. Hopefully this is not right at the bottom. I do love having my rolling rack in here, but it does kind of get in the way every now and again. Right. So, whoops, now kicking my bag. So this is a hydrangea print, slightly more expensive cotton lawn from Lady McElroy. And I want to do some kind of tiered and gathered skirt, but I haven't got enough trim to do like a layer of the insertion in between each tier of the skirt for the skirt, and then the skirt be as full as I want it to be. So I'm not sure, not 100% sure, but I do think that this with those trims is going to look very Zimmerman-esque, which we all know I like. Okay. So we're going to call this one edge and edge trim and edge and insertion trim. Let's see. So Boho says, have you seen the costumes that Firefly Path makes? She uses trims on lots of corset-spaced costumes. They're gorgeous. I do follow her on Instagram, and you are correct. Her stuff is absolutely stunning. So we've got insertion and edge trims. Pit Trading is their trim section is lethal, absolutely lethal. And I do kind of wish I'd bought more of both of those ones. Now let's see, is this going to stick? It might stick. That's good. That's good. Now, I mean, I'm not doing a lot of kind of taking out and organising, because as I mentioned, I did this time last year, so the boxes are pretty well organised for like stuff, but it's just nice to refresh my memory about what's in what. Let's see. Evie says no. I read that one. Sal says good day, Shan and Peeps. Good day. Sal, good evening. So Boho says, where do you get the pretty boxes from? WH Smith's. They usually do a buy one get one free, which is good because these are like £20. This one is £20 for 3 matching boxes. So this one, a slightly smaller one, and then one of those square ones, and then they do get buy one get one free. So I've got a lot. Oh, and TK Maxx as well. There's a couple coming up there from TK Maxx. Bree says hello. Hello, welcome. Elena says, could it be your Christmas project? Which one? which one? Trisha says, would it work if you used an emery board to scratch key the surface of the box? Yes, it would, but I like that the labels are removable, and I wouldn't want to damage the side of the box for a permanent label. Some of my boxes, my paper cut crafting ones, have the little metal plates where you can slide the label in and out, which is perfect, but these ones don't have that on them, which is fine. These labels are fine, but they may not end up having that in them forever, so I kind of like I don't want to damage the box to permanently stick on the label. And to be fair, that one I do remember what's in there because it's more trims that just wouldn't fit in here. So yeah. But yes, no, that could work. Lynn says, hi Sian, hope you're keeping well. Very well, thank you, Lynn. How are you? Sewing in PJ says, suggestion, what if you made a special set of lingerie to complement every collection you made? Definitely something that I want to do. Definitely something that I would like to do. I think the thing is, I'm worried about messing up, and my sojo is an all-time low, so I don't want to start on something that's not going to be perfect. Like, I mean, obviously I have this part of the project to work my way through as well, but I think I just need to kind of get some of these under my belt and have a bit of a win. I think I just need to kind of get back into the swing of things. And I know you shouldn't put things off, but I've kind of got it in my head that this next couple of weeks is getting this done, retreat, and then the second week in May is going to be like energizing, and I'm hoping I get to start on this lot, and I think I know what I want to do. And one of the things I want to start with is the knit projects, because they're really quick and they're nice makes, and the offcuts of some of the cotton jerseys I've got in here, I'm thinking I need to make myself some underwear from those. And I'm thinking, like, I don't wear bralettes ever, so I was thinking I don't want to start with a bralette. I want to make a proper underwired bra, because I wear only exclusively underwired bras. But I'm thinking that maybe I ought to try and make myself some matching bralette and underwear sets to kind of get started, rather than trying to, run before I can walk kind of thing. We'll see. So yeah. Lynn says, I'm grand, just having some lunch. Ooh, food. I've got a box of cookies down there. You can just see box of cookies. Alana says, lingerie as Christmas project, like you had the coat mess. Oh, okay, yeah, that could be an idea. I think one of the other things as well is that I'm constantly wanting to make more clothes for my wardrobe, because I'm constantly like identifying holes in my wardrobe of things that I should really try and make, but then they tend to be the kind of boring things, like a white shirt. I don't own a white shirt, and I want one, and a white shirt would go so well with all the stuff that I've been making. Like all those waistcoats that I've got, in fact, I don't think I've ever worn any of those waistcoats that I've got, because I haven't got either the matching skirt, like out of this wool here, to go with them, or I haven't got a proper shirt to wear underneath it that I really like the look of. So I need to fill out the holes in my wardrobe. I need to kind of properly sit down and think I need to make some basic things. But then I have all these prints, and as you see, I love these prints, and the basics, the solids end up not getting made up, whereas all the prints get made up. So, like these, I mean, I know there's a gingham and a stripe in there, but these I'm classing as solids, and these I'm classing as solids, and just not getting made up. The trouser reason, I think, is a good one. I would like to lose a tiny little bit more weight and it's really, I want to lose it off my legs so that I can fit into my knee-high boots, because none of my knee-high boots zip up. So I would really like to just get back into my knee-high boots because I have some gorgeous ones and I really want to wear them. So that's my reason for putting off trousers, but I probably ought to put off skirts as well, because the skirt that I'm wearing today is actually really big on me now. I can fudge it with a belt, which is why another reason I wear belts so often. But yeah, but I keep the very long roundabout way of talking, answering your question, Elena. But I keep thinking of lingerie as like as a when I'm done with my wardrobe project, but I'm never going to be done with my wardrobe, so I just need to get on and do it, and I will do it at some point this year. And like I said, I'm thinking that I'm going to start with some of the knits from in here and make myself some just pretty underwear, and then kind of go from there. So yeah. Monica says, good morning, Sean. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Noelia says, hi, Sean. Hi, Peeps. I hope you're feeling better, Sean. Thank you very much. So Boho says, looking for a bit of advice, please. Cutting out my birthday dress in Cobra Corsage cotton lawn and using cotton lawn lining. Do you sew the lining separately or treat them both as one piece? Okay, so there's interlining, which is when you sew them together and then treat them as one piece when you're sewing up the garment. And then there's bag lining, where you sew them individually and then kind of sew them together at the end and turn them through. My preference is bag lining. I much prefer, because I find that, I mean, you've seen my sew alongs. If I fully line something, I don't finish the seams on the bit that's going to be fully lined. I leave them completely raw because there's not going to be any friction against them. And if they do fray, it's on the inside of the garment. And I've never had anything disintegrate on me yet. If you interline them, so you cut the fabric and the lining out the same, put them together as a single piece and then sew them together, you still have to finish your seams. And I only ever interline if I need to add structure to a fabric, like the high neck navy dress that I made. I made it out of viscose because I wanted the viscose for the flow in the sleeves and the skirt, but the bodice, because it had the high neck, needed a bit more structure. So I interlined that one with cotton lawn to give the viscose a little bit more body, and then I lined it as well with lining fabric, the grey viscose and acetate lining fabric that I get from Lady McElroy. So it really depends on the finish that you're going for and what you want from your fabric. If you are wanting more structure, interlining is a good way to go. If you want to have a clean finish on the inside, bag lining would be my advice. But then it very much depends on what you're making and what the advice is, because different applications for different things. Sal says, today I went out and bought some drawing supplies to start hand drawing again after over a decade of not doing it. Oh, how lovely. I hope you enjoy. Rachel says, hi, lovely. Made it this week. Hello. I'm going to be seeing you so soon. I'm so excited. You do arrive on the Saturday, don't you, Rachel? Or are you arriving on the Friday as well? I have it in my head that you're arriving on the Saturday, but just let me know. Bree says to Sal, super exciting. Good luck. I love drawing and need to get back into it too. Monica says, planning on finishing my Butterick 6554. I'm on the sleeves. Just realised that I use my iPad with YouTube playing Following You, Sean. Lol. So we'll have you in stereo sound in my house today. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Gillian Pin says, hello peeps. I was out yesterday at a tribute band festival, ear still ringing and footsore. Can't stay for long as out to the quayside for Sunday market for lunch. You look happier. Thank you. And yes, nice to see you. Elena says, but so-called boring things as white shirts could be a big shock project on the channel. I know. That's what I'm thinking. I think I just need to get on and do it. Like, yeah. HSO says, I went on the new Craft House Harriet Bra course in the new year, which killed the fear a bit for me. Now I know it's not so scary and all you need to do is buy the right bits and pieces, which you have. Yes, yes. The other reason that I am procrastinating bra making is because I need to buy underwires and I don't know what size or shape I should get. And I find the information for choosing that in the patterns Like, I want to make the Boylston bra from Orange Lingerie. It's a balconette bra. You can make it with cotton lawns and things like that if they're cut on the bias. I love that bra. I really want to make it, but it doesn't tell me what shape of wire I need. I mean, I might be being stupid and it does completely, but from what I remember, yeah, I know Liz from Liz Sews has done a whole video on choosing the different cup, underwires. So I need to rewatch that and just get over my fear, because I have just got the fear. Cecilia says, good morning, peeps. Watching while I drive to work. Don't forget to like the stream. Thank you, Cecilia. Good morning. Well, yes, 128 of us and 34 likes. Lynn says, I've done a little bit of bra making and it's quite the learning curve. When you get to it, I can give you a few pointers if you like, so you can learn from my mistakes. Oh, thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you. Yeah. I think I just need to accept that I'm going to be pants at it and give it a go. And the only way you're going to get better is by practicing. So, yeah. Sewing in PJ says, well, there's your first lingerie collection make, knit collection and underwear from knits. I'm just thinking to add the project as part of your collection because it's part of your wardrobe. Yes, exactly. And I agree. When I did my leaf fabric haul, there was a couple of the cotton jerseys in there that I was like, I do want to make these into lingerie from the offcuts of the t-shirts and things. So yeah. So Boho says, thanks, bag lining it is. That's my preference, definitely my preference. Awkward Evie says, you inspired me to try keto this week while spring cleaning and reorganizing the whole apartment instead of OMAD because it usually leaves me sick and exhausted. I had so much energy and no problems. Oh, that's awesome. That's something that I've definitely noticed as well. I definitely feel way more energized when I am doing keto, and I definitely notice peaks and troughs when I'm eating carbs. And I need to get back into my steady level of energy, so working on it. Rachel says Saturday. Haven't booked ferry yet though. Might be swimming with my machine on my back. Oh gosh. I hope not. I hope not. What time's Eric's? Not that I'm saying that you have to collect Eric, but Eric is, if you wanted to aim for something, we had a conversation about this the other day. Eric gets into Southampton at 12:55. So if you wanted to aim for something, Rachel, and have some companionship on the ferry, just an idea. Although she's a foot passenger, so she's getting the red jet. She hasn't booked her ticket yet, I don't think. Oh no, I think she has actually. Has she booked her ticket? Oh yeah, she's booked her ticket, but not for a specific crossing. So, but yeah, Erica is going to be in the vicinity at around about that time. So yes, but that might end up mean that you have to get up ridiculously early. So yeah. Gin Pin says, my hand sewn Roscoe is white, or will definitely need to be washed before wearing. I thought the fabric was a fine lawn, but I think it's a gauze, so fine. Ooh, pretty. I've just bought myself some white viscose to make. It's actually kind of more of an ivory color because I think stark white on me is a little bit harsh. And I've got a lot of white viscose down here for tops and stuff as well. I just did need to get to doing them. Yeah, I think that's the other reason I want to kind of start with the knit projects from here, because whilst I want to do like the printed knits, I also want to do like the green t-shirts here. I've got some white fabric as well, some of the browns, which you can't quite see, but they're up there as well. I think I just want to have like a week of t-shirt week, which I've been threatening for like, what, 5 years? I think the reason that I got put off by doing t-shirt week is because I didn't want to try and twirl a t-shirt in the morning, cut it out, sew it up, then have to go back and cut a whole bunch more out. So yeah. Kathleen says, yes, you need a big white puffy shirt. I do, because it would go with so many things and be really cool with those waistcoats that I've made. Evie says maybe a parity puffy sleeved white shirt. Yeah, exactly. I did try last year with the 9345 Vogue pattern to elongate it and flare it out. I did it in a peach coloured viscose, which I don't know where that's gone. I did have some left, but it's not there anymore. Well, it's probably in there somewhere, but stuffed in there somewhere. Or it might be over here because it is a smaller amount. Um, and that's the top of that shirt I loved. The bottom of that shirt I did not love so much. I had added 4 inches around the bottom circumference, and I needed to add a lot more because it was I couldn't do the bottom button up. One of the ways of getting around that would be to put slits into the side seams and leave a pattern as is. I don't like the finish I can achieve with those though, because I want to French seam everything. So yeah, I need to have a play around with patterns, and I think that's another reason that I don't have a tried and true pattern yet. So I think I need to have a play around with patterns. The other thing with a white shirt as well, especially the one I want to do, it's got a really big facing underneath of it, and I know that the fabric will be sheer, so that the facing will show through. So I think I'm actually going to fully line it, which actually would make the side slits in that one easier. Maybe I do need to get on with that. I want to get these done first, though. I do want to get these done first. Trisha says, have you seen the dress Bernadette Banner has just sewn recently? It's take on the blue dress that Moraine from the Wheel of Time wears. Never watched the show, but thinking of having a nosy. Yes, I love that video. I'm a patron of Bernadette, so I get early access to her videos. Only a day, but I do get early access, so I have watched that video, and I love it. And Hasriel, or Ariel from Hasriel, her traveling version and corset and little bolero are amazing as well. If you don't follow her channel, you definitely should. It is a very lovely dress. And Bernadette has also done a linen parity shirt which was all hand sewn and very, very awesome. It isn't the sort of thing because it's very poofy up top, and I would want more shaping because I have a much bigger bust than she does. And so while poof looks good on her because it adds, I don't need any adding of fluff in this particular area, so I want more definition, especially with the way that I would wear the shirts as well. I think more definition would definitely be the way forward. So now that I have verbalized it out loud, fully lining that shirt, I think that doing just putting the little splits in the side would be the way forward. Yes. Joanna's here. Hello, welcome. Trisha says the dress is stunning and so is the shoulder piece that goes with it. Yes. Anna's here. Hiya, how are you? Very well, thank you, Anna. I did email you to let you know that the deposit for the retreat has come through, but you didn't reply, which is fine, but I don't know if you have access to that email consistently, so I just thought I'd let you know that everything is booked in for you. Anna's coming to the retreat in May, and she's also just booked onto the retreat in October. There are 5 people booked onto the retreat in October, so there are 7 places left. Michelle said that she's aiming to come to the retreat next year in May, all the way from Bermuda, so that's really exciting. So if you want any of the details, they are on my website, which is kittenishbehaviour.com. Joanna says, I'm about to put buttonholes on my normal blouse and need some moral support. You can do it. She says, hashtag nail biting. You can do it, Joanna. Johanna is here. Hello, peeps. Hi, welcome. Maiki, I probably have said your name wrong, haven't I? There we go. Good afternoon, everybody from the Netherlands. Finally getting my sojo back after COVID and related health problems. Sewing a wrap dress from a Dutch sewing magazine and enjoying the conversation. Oh, awesome and welcome. I'm so glad you're feeling better. Lynn says, re-underwire, harvest them from old tatty bras that fit well and alter the pattern to suit them. That's what I did. Also, the hardest bit of bra making is fit. Yes. I, unfortunately, don't own any old tatty bras. I, about 5 years ago, went through and got rid of everything. And there was not very many of them were tatty. A couple were. But the majority of them I had just grown out of because I had put on so much weight, and I donated them all to, I mean, it was something like 40 Licenza bras. I miss my pretty underwear. That's one reason I want to get back into making it. I did buy myself a set recently from Marks and Spencer's. It was a Rosie Huntingley Whitting whatsoever fur chops. I bought a red silk set, and it's lovely. I was a 32G or double G, I think, actually, to not have it dig in here. But the kind of like the underwires kind of came. It's a really weird fit, but it doesn't actually do anything for my shape. So I'm wearing a Wonder bra now, and it's a balconette bra, and I love it. I wish they'd do this in more colours, and this one's lace, and I wish they'd do it in plain, because wearing this under t-shirts, my tight t-shirts, is very, very obvious. But yeah, I don't actually own any well-fitting old bras that I can pull apart. So I do see, yeah, I've heard that before, but I don't actually own any, which kind of sucks. Sal says, fun fact, underwire bras are only a recent thing, historically speaking, since the 1890s. Found this out doing research for my Dracula novel. Yes, stays and girdles and stuff. But yeah. Anna says, to Trisha, I watched Bernadette's video earlier. It was great. Evie says, OMAD, 1 meal a day. My body was so excited for food, lol. It felt like I was screaming, finally food, lol. I've actually found on keto, because fat is so satiating, I have gone down to eating a big meal once a day and then having a light snack in the evening, which I think has kind of contributed. I've never been a big breakfast person. I mean, mum and dad have toast every morning, and if I get a whiff of it, it's just like, oh. But yeah, I've never been a huge breakfast person, but I actually found that I was not really eating as much or as many meals as I used to, again, when I'm having the carbs. But again, I'm kind of fallen into bad habits. Evie says, I tried following the Simplicity 1426 bra pattern and really struggled. They're cute bras, though. I don't know how functional they are. Are they the patterns by Madeline? I have them. I don't think they're my size. Elena says, will we have a plain colour week? Probably, and probably a knit plain colour week, although there are some pattern knits in there as well. Anna says to Trisha, incredible hand stitching, very patient, especially as Bernadette had to unpick one piece to redo it all. I know, when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, no. Michelle says, I've never sewn knit fabric. It actually intimidates me a bit. Any tips from you all that I need to know? I'm planning to give a t-shirt a try soon once I gather the nerve together. Don't start with a viscose. Do a nice cotton jersey that's not going to be all floopy and misbehaved from you, because like this is lovely to wear, but a bit of a pain to sew with. I was in exactly the same boat as you. I had bought myself an overlocker, and it sat in the corner for 5 years because I was terrified of it and sewing with knits. And I started, there's some videos on my channel, my first time sewing with knits, and I absolutely love it. I don't enjoy making plain t-shirts. I find them really boring. I find making plain clothes really boring, but I need to do it because I love print so much. So yeah, I do it every now and again, but I have to definitely be in the mood. Trisha says to Anna, I'd have thrown it, lol, and Anna's laughing at Trisha. Jenny Pin says, I went down a YouTube hand sewing rabbit hole. I've sewn the raglan seams backstitched and working on self-bound seam finished before I tackle the hand gathering at the neck. So many decisions to take. Oh wow, but so fun. You're going to be so proud of that blouse when you're done. Kathleen says, the pleated blouse Vogue 1845 would be a challenge to make. It would emphasize your small waist like you like. I wore mine last night and feel so stylish in it. Let's have a look. 1845. Do I have that one? I think I might. The Cloth Edits Sew a Brows in April challenge. I need to take photos of my Bruyere, because that would work for that one. Oh yes, no, I have seen that one. I have this pattern. Yeah, I saw you've put yours up in the McCall's pattern group, haven't you? It looks stunning. I definitely want to give that a go. Very pirate core indeed. I saw this one on because I follow the hashtag for the Sew April Blouse Challenge, and somebody had used this pattern, style 3799, and oh my goodness, amazing. And Rachel has actually sent me a pattern that is very similar to that, so I need to give that a go. Let's see. Trisha says the white shirt was gorgeous that Bernadette made. Oh yeah, definitely. Elena says, what do you think about the shirt you just made, but with giant sleeves that you use a lot in a plain colour? That is not a bad idea at all. The only thing with that is, again, with a white shirt, the front placket is much better because it's like a fold over placket, but there is a facing to finish off the neck edge, which would show through on a white shirt. I think that's the thing that I mean, I want a lightweight fabric, but I don't want one where it's really obvious that there's like a facing underneath of it, which is why I'm thinking I'm going to do the 9345 and fully line it. Just making my life difficult as ever. Nimway's here. Hello everyone. Don't forget to like the stream, peeps. Yes, 141 of us and 54 likes. Get to see Nimway soon as well. It's so exciting. Let's see. Trisha says Bernadette Banner could read the telephone directory to me. I love her voice. Yeah. Michelle says, yes, I am. I haven't informed my husband that he's on kid duty, but I got time. Awesome. Michelle, if you want, I can have a look and see what dates it would be so that you've got something specific to aim for. Ruth won't mind booking something in that far in advance. So yeah, let me know. Anna says, Sian, thank you, hun. Yeah, got my email's not set up on my phone. My friend did WhatsApp me to say he paid it on my behalf. Thank you for letting me know it all went through okay. No worries, Anna. It's all sorted. You are booked into Lionel Coombe. It's all good. It's all good. You can see Anna soon as well. Ah, so exciting. Lynn says, yeah, I think M&S must have changed their bra sizing. I always bought the same size for years and then fit it perfectly. Last year I had to go up several cup sizes and they're not so comfortable. Yeah, I mean, I kind of regret buying that bra. I bought the knickers, I always buy a bra and then 2 pairs of matching knickers to go with it. And I bought the knickers are beautiful. They're like red lace and red silk and just really pretty. It's a floral silk. And the bra is really pretty, but it just doesn't give me a nice shape, and it's just a bit like not quite as comfortable as these ones. And I don't know if these ones are more comfortable because I've just been wearing them so often. I have 2 cream ones and 2 black ones, and they're just on rotation. But yeah, I really do need to get into making my own, because once I've got the fit right, I can just make all of the underwear. I love underwear. Rachel Lynn says, good morning, or good morning. Evie says, yes, keto has been great. Apparently, I wasn't getting nearly enough calories, fat, or protein. Who knew? They're 50s bras. I'm not sure who they're by. Right. Okay. That's been a lot of chat, hasn't it? We're nearly an hour in already, and I have labelled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So this is the binding that I made for the cape, the Zimmerman-esque cape, and I'm still going to make that thing, but I need to find some, because I want to do it in the blue rather than the tan wool, because the tan one, very Jedi-esque, and yeah, I need to revisit that. So this is the medium box that comes in the set. So this is the biggest one. Then you get one of these, which fits inside, and then you get one of those. And you get, I have 3 of those sets. So this, oh, I wondered where this had gone. This is my Lisa Chandler kit for the knitting bag that Mum has made. And here is the tutorial for it. So Mum's made one of those. I got Rachel one of these kits. It was kind of a joint Christmas birthday present last year. If you can find it, Rachel, I do think you should bring that to the retreat with you, but I know Bronte's hidden it. So that's that kit. And then I've got Oh wow, I've even got the hardware. Got all the hardware in here for a penny in. Everything's cut out. It's going to be a really pretty one. Of course, I threw it on the floor. Oh, that's where that is. I wondered where that was gone. So, yeah, this is not doing my patterns any good. So I think I'm going to put my patterns back in. There we go. Right. I think I'm going to put the patterns back. Oh my goodness, I'm supposed to be making somebody an NCW with this. That was from 2019. No, 2018. Oh wow. I've completely forgotten who it was. I should have written it on the bag. That's terrible. It'll come back to me. I'll go back and have a look. But yeah, so this is my bag making projects to be done. So I'm going to keep the patterns out because they're getting squished. But have I got that? No. The actual lids of these, if you put them on correctly, the print aligns. So yeah, right. So bag making projects, these are all cut out. So cut out bag projects. Okay. Right. I'm gonna put the patterns on top because they are, yeah, they're getting very kind of, folders are getting bent in there. And then this bias binding is too chunky to live anywhere else, so it just kind of lives there. And then I'll put the Fairy Frost, which is one of my favorite bag linings because it's technically not, well, I mean, it is a pattern, but it's like an abstract pattern. And if you buy the correct colors, it looks beautiful on the interior of bags and goes really nicely with a print on the outside. So put that one away. Ooh, my Mora leather in marine has arrived. That is beautiful. It's really, really nice. And that's going to go with my fabrics that Erica Lee and I bought, but she was here last time. We're going to be making Horiath out of that. I need to have a look through and see if I've got the correct hardware for the Horiath and if I need to order any in. It's all going horribly wrong. I know So Hot are running kind of low on hardware at the moment, so I might have to see if because I can buy a kit from Erica because I'm not sure I'm going to have time to get it shipped over from Canada, from Emmeline directly. Let's see, where did I get to? Joanna says unpicking. Oh no. Nimoy says I'm finishing cutting out my cute PJs and I hope to get a good chunk of sewing down on them today. fabric for gala top is in the washing machine. It'll be a fancy t-shirt to go with my shiny skirt. Oh, so exciting. Junipian says, my Roscoe is the Sew April Browns challenge, so I need to get stitching. Taking the neckline into work tomorrow to sew during breaks. The neck is the biggest part to do. It's going to be so pretty when you're done, though. Trisha says, love Lisa Chandler. Me too. Me too. I wish I could afford to buy dressmaking lengths of all of her fabrics, because just so beautiful. I really don't know what to do with my fat quarters that I've got from her. I couldn't resist them because they were all put together so beautifully, but I think I need to try and purchase some longer lengths of some of them so that I can, I don't know what to do with them. They're just so pretty. Sal says, by the way, Sean, if you ever do a sewing retreat here in Sydney, I'll give you and the peeps a full Matrix tour guide experience showing where most of the film was done. Oh, awesome. That would be so cool. Thank you, Sal. I do want to make it to Australia. I will at some point. It's going to happen. So Boho says, would you sacrifice one of your Wonder Bras to take apart and use as a pattern? I have thought about that. They are quite expensive, but they do fit pretty well, actually. So I have thought about taking one apart to sacrifice as a pattern because I like them so much. So it has been considered, definitely. Elena says, is brand Miss Mary familiar to you? They are sort of expensive, but make very comfy bras with big cups. That name kind of rings a bell, but I couldn't tell you why it rings a bell. Stray eyelash misbehaving. I shall have to check them out. Thank you for the recommendation. Trisha says, love it when I start looking through my pretties and start finding things I've forgotten I've bought. Yes. Susan says, quick advice, please. I just purchased bias binding thingies, but they don't say how wide to cut your strips for each color maker. I'm making 90s tonight and don't want to add edge ruffles. So let's see if I can get this correct. So I've got the set of 3, but Mum seems to have kept my tiny one. The ones I use the most are the blue and the red one. Mine do have numbers on the back. So the blue one is 25 millimeters. This is the one, the largest one that comes in the set. This is the one that I use for the 2-inch wide bias binding that I cut. So I cut it 2 inches wide and it ends up making 1/2 inch wide bias binding when you sew it down. And then this is the red one, which is the next in size, which is 18 millimeters, it says on the back. And this is the one I use when I cut 1.5 inch wide strips, and they go down to 3/8 of an inch wide bias binding. I don't know if this is going to be the same as your ones, but these are the 2 that I use most frequently. Annoying that they've not got labels on them. Maybe kind of like experiment with different widths, and when you find the width that you like to go through yours, then put a little sticker on the back. Alison says, hello, Sean and Peeps. Hope you're all well. Sean, how's Chiana today? Very well, thank you. Binks has just had his treat of that paste that is in the tube, and it stinks. He loves it so much. Chiana hates those. She doesn't like wet food. She is a very strange kitty. We know. Oh, giant pigeon's back. Hiding. It's staring at me. Hi, pigeon. Yes, hello to Binks and Alison. Sorry, I got distracted by the giant dinosaur outside of my window. Keep looking at me. Yeah, no, she doesn't like those little tubes. One of you lovely lot sent her some in a care package once, and she was just like, "Whoa, don't want that." Oh, okay. Eleanor says to Susan, "For those things you cut double, what comes out?" Yeah, that's yeah. If you this is my 2-inch wide original strip, so it's now 1 inch wide, and when you actually sew it in, it'll end up being 1/2 inch wide. So that's a much easier way of saying it, Elena. Of course, I got all complicated. There we go. What did I get to? Susan says thanks, Elena, much appreciated. Kate E says, afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well. Lovely to be able to join you while knitting more of my fine line sweater. Oh, what colour are you doing yours in? I do want another one of those. I wonder if Mum would be able to make it into a V-neck cardigan for me as well, because it is a nice one. I like that a lot. Jojo's here. Morning all. Hope you're all well. Very well, thank you, Jojo. I get to see you in 5 days. Yay! I'm so excited. HESO says, I'm procrastinating the buttons and hem on Sew Over It to Doris dress. Stupidly didn't toile it, so it has the smallest seam allowance ever. Oh, but it'll be so nice when it's done. It is a very pretty dress. Joanna says, last one. Oh no. Gillian Pin says, I'm off to graze through the Sunday market. Weather is beautiful. Sewing will have to wait until tonight. See you all next time. Enjoy, Gillian Pins. Have a wonderful time. Carol says, Susan to Susan, for double fold 4 times the finished width. Yes. Yes. Jennifer says, hello, gorgeous peeps. Hello, Jennifer. Angela says, a pigeon managed to make its way onto the stage the other day during the World Snooker Championship. Don't know how it got in there. Nice. Jennifer says it's 7 a.m. in Texas. Good morning. Nimue says, anybody seen the pigeon in the crucible at the Snooker World Championship? British pigeons are clearly up to something. Beware. Exactly. They're plotting. They're plotting. No. Yeah. Right, let's get some more boxes down. I'm enjoying this organising malarkey. Oh, guys, I forgot to add this in when we did the knitting projects. Mum made me a dragon. Isn't he fabulous? We do need to put a little bit of wire in him. He is a little bit floppy. We need his... Bought the wire. Just want his head to be a little bit more. But yeah, Mum knit me a dragon. I'm going to put some wire in. There are pipe cleaners in his wings, but his wings are very heavy, so he's a little bit... like he's just been hatched. I'm going to put some wire in his wings, some wire in his neck. He's even got little fingers, look. He is a thing of beauty. But yes, he got completely forgotten from the things that my mum has knit for me. We really do. We bought the wire. We really do need to give him some backbone. So some of these are jewelry boxes. Some of these were gift boxes, like the Body Shop one. Just completely forgotten what's in all of them. Some of them have got labels on, some of them haven't. Oh, okay. So this is this is all of my bikini clasps. I've made quite a lot of bikinis actually. And I've made the tie string back ones. So I bought some Evie Lelouve patterns to make some more structured ones, and clearly I bought all of the clasps for it. So let's write that on. Bikini clasps. I think I might need to go and get my feather duster thingy because it's all a little bit dusty as well, because these boxes have not been touched since this time last year. And my sticker is on crooked. Whoops. There we go. It's one of those microfiber ones that you can wash. Yeah. Oh, I don't think there's anything in here. There isn't. This is an empty box. It's by Butler and Wilson box. I had a beautiful brooch that unfortunately I broke. But yeah, Butler and Wilson. So that one's empty. This one has something in it. It's another Butler and Wilson box. This one I have a beautiful, really big necklace. Ah, okay. So this is all fold over elastics. And bra making findings. Fold over elastics. And then, so these, that's an elastic, it's a decorative, yeah. So those ones need to go in the lingerie box up there. There isn't really room for all of these, but they can stay in this box. It did have a label on it, but it was a friction pen and it was at direct sunlight and the sun's bleached it. So fold over the elastics. Here we go. Okay. Now this one says buttons. This one's empty. Yeah, that's an empty box as well. Buttons is not correct because I have a bigger button box now because clearly outgrew it. So I can take that label off carefully. So this was one of those Christmas sets from the Body Shop. So I just liked the box. And then this one, oh, more lingerie making stuff. But I will put that in the lingerie box because this should fit. And let's take off, carefully take off the sticker. There we go. So I've got another empty box, which is fine. So I'll go put these back. Make sure that I've got the labels poking out. And any box without a label is an empty box. So that makes sense. So put these in with the other supplies of the same type because that makes sense. If I can make them fit, but I should be able to make them fit. Did I put the findings? Yes, findings went in there. So because if I don't have it all in the same place, then, you know, I'll forget that I've got some of these other things and then they just won't get used, and they're all very pretty, so should get used. There is more than enough stuff to make many bras in there. Okay. Right, so we've got some more. Oh. Whoop! You dropped it on my face. Ah! More boxes. Oh, this is an important box that everyone should have. Feather boas. I bought those in Saudi Arabia for a costume that I wanted to make, the Wicked Queen from Once Upon a Time. And there's 2 feather boas in there, so that's going to be a very specific label. but they did used to live in the boxes that I now have my insertion trim and edge trim in. So 2 times feather boas. There was a shop that just had like all of the beautiful, random, weird, just trims and lovelies, and yeah, went in sideways. Put the label on so that it's going to get seen. There we go. So that one can go back up here. And then I've got these two, which I can't remember what's in them because I thought the feather boa was in the bottom one. So we shall see. Let's catch up with the chat. Let's see. Oh wow, I'm very far behind. Carolyn says, hello, sweet peeps. Hi, welcome. Jennifer says hi to Carolyn as well. Shirley TX says, I'm in Texas also. Plano. And Jennifer says, I was the dragon. He is so handsome. He's lovely. Yes. And Jennifer asks Shirley where I'm outside of Houston in Katy. Elena says to Jennifer, hello, will you be watching Legal Bites stream tomorrow? Trisha says, love the dragons. Jennifer says to Elena, you know it. So Boho says the dragon is amazing. Jennifer says, if I don't go into the office tomorrow. Kate E says, my fine line sweater is a gorgeous slate blue colour, a Rowan merino. Ooh, nice. Eliza says, good morning all. Elena says to Jennifer, we're going to need more can you read it again moments tomorrow. Lisa says, hi everyone. Jennifer says to Elena, haha, yes, then I can be snarky as well. Jennifer says hi to Lisa. Jojo says, cannot wait. Long-suffering husband has just dug out the combat handbag. I'm not one for normal luggage, so I can get cracking with packing once dress is finished. Much excites happening in the Temple of Doom. Your dress is turning out beautifully, Jojo. I love that fabric. I mean, no surprise there. Jennifer said to Elena, I will miss Wednesday because I will be in the office for part of that day. Vanessa says, good morning, everyone. Elena says to Jennifer, luckily they make recaps and the stream stays on the channel. Lollapalooza says, good morning all. Now I'm feeling like I need to go clean up my sewing room. Jennifer says to Elena, yes, I will only have to be in the office until 2 p.m. as well. Michelle says, I was thinking, I enjoy these organisation chats so much. Maybe you can come to Bermuda and waffle to me while I organise the closets. Might motivate me to actually do my own cupboards. I can come and help you. I'm organising. Jennifer says, feathers of awesomeness. Yeah. And Jennifer says to Lollapalooza, good morning, me as well. Once I can't bend over and do all the things. Once I can bend over and do all the things. Elena says to Jennifer, so you will possibly see everything after lunch break. I'm totally lost in time zones in the US. Jennifer says to me, the Legal Bite stream is Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Trial of Doom. Ah, yes. Oh, God bless him. That woman just... right, okay. I know what this is. This is my 2... And so I think this is actually the wrong thing. It says it's embroidery thread on the labels, and I bought it as if it was fringing. It's very... If this is embroidery thread, I have a lot of it. I'm hoping I can use it as fringing because it is on like a ribbon at the top. And I want to make, at some point in my life, I want to make a wiggle dress that this fringing gets very strategically placed onto. Tuata Matoshi does some very beautiful dresses with this kind of fringing on it. I don't know if this is the correct stuff, given what it's called. But I also have, got 2 buttons in there. They shouldn't be in there. They should be in my button box. I've also got some embroidery thread. I made a trench coat and I wanted to, it was turquoise pink with pink bias binding. I wanted to use this size buttons, and my machine wouldn't do buttonholes this big, so I had to kind of do them by hand, and oh my god, they were awful. So I tried to do like embroider, bind the edge of them, and that didn't really work either. So I've got a whole bunch of this like embroidery thread in there. So this box was a present from my best friend Natasha. She gave me a vintage dress in it. Unfortunately, the dress did not fit me very well. It was way too short-waisted, but the box is lovely. So I'm going to call it embroidery fringe. And maybe I ought to put that pink embroidery thread in an actual different box, because I have plenty of boxes spare, don't I? Start an embroidery thread box. That might be a good idea. So let's do that. Now, I think these go on sideways because there's something behind them that I really don't reach for very often. So let's label that one like that. Let's cut off another label. And I think we'll put it in the pink box that was empty. No, that's not empty. It's got something in it. Whoa. Oh, it's the fold over elastics. We'll put it in the small pink box that's empty. Embroidery threads. Two seconds. Oh, there's more buttons in here. Are there any more buttons? Have I got them all? No. Okay, so peel the sticker. Oh, just need to cut the bottom of that off so it fits. That's better. Oops. Don't stick to the floor. There we go. Put that one back. Oh, okay. And what is in this box? Because this is where I thought my feather boas were. Oh, it's all my ribbing. That's good to know. All my ribbing. So let's put a sticker on that. Ribbing. I would have found it eventually, but glad that I am labeling it. Here we go. Ribbing. Right, I'm going to put these back up. Oh, I need to get these boxes down first. I think this is my box of shame. And I think this is pre-cut NCWs. These peacock boxes are from TK Maxx. I always have to restrain myself when I go into TK Maxx because there are so many beautiful like stationery things and boxes in there, and I'm just like, I need them. I really don't. I do not need them at all, as you can see. giant buttons. There you go. It's better. Right, so yes, this is, that's Mum's. Don't know what that's doing in there. This is my NCWs. This one was my niece's, and she has literally killed it. Literally killed it. And then we've got a little mini one. Oh, I forgot I'd make that. Little mini NCW. I have to double check and see if the cards fit in this, because I think somebody complained that they didn't. But then I went through my scrapbox, which I've recently gone through and given away to all of you guys, and I've cut out, like I made myself a cheat sheet of what needed to be cut out, and then I went through and did a whole bunch of these that match, and some I've done more than others. Like this one, I've only done the outer of the bag. I didn't have any of the linings done it for it. And we've got octopi, autumn leaves. This one's a mini, classic, mini, Avengers, strawberries, more strawberries. Actually, Anna, this is the dress. This is the large NCW. This is the dress that you've got from that I sent to you. This would make a matching bag. It's another large one. Chilies, some Star Wars, maps, chocolate covered cherries, some geometric print. Oh, I love the dress that I made from this. It was too small for me though. Mini woodland animals, mini maps, fish, mushrooms, flamingos, frogs, more of that geometric, kitty cats, just that watery one. It's a large NCW with mushrooms on it. I love that fabric. And a large NCW with the geometric print on it. So I went through and I cut out, like, you know, parts of all of these NCWs, because this is when I had my shop and I was going to be trying to make these up in batches. And I sort of sat for one afternoon watching random movies and just cutting out all the different parts of these NCWs to try and kind of help me get a jump start on it. And this is the 2017 pattern, and she altered it because the 2017 pattern, the interior doesn't fit quite so well. And I don't know if I even want to make those up, but some of them are so lovely. I don't know if I want to give them away either, because at one point I was going to give all of them away. I don't know if I want to, because some of them are going to be really awesome. Oh dear. But that one can stay up there. If I ever get back into the mood to make NCWs, that'll be good. And then this one, yeah, this one's all my kind of like alterations. Things that need fixing, things that I've got in there for the fabric. And I've shown you guys that one in my UFO video. So boxes are organised. Oh, that makes me feel better. They're labelled now, so all the boxes that don't have labels on are empty. We're done. That took only an hour and a half. But like I say, I didn't really expect to kind of like be going through these to like organize and sort things out, because I did that this time last year, just forgotten what was in which box. So now they've all got labels on them, which is much better. Right, where did I get to? Teresa says, just joined you all. Lovely Sunday hangouts. Loved seeing your mum and the knitting project she did. Such talent, both of you. She is very talented indeed. Megan's here. Good morning, Sean and Peeps. I'm excited to be here and excited Sean has her sojo once more. Thank you, Megan. Jennifer says, good morning to Megan. Glad you're here. And she also says to Teresa, good morning, QQ is such a gift. Yes, I am very lucky. Tristan says, my husband is up now, so I'm going to sign off. Have a great weekend, everyone. You too. Mary says, good morning, Peeps. It's actually got here at 7:37 Eastern Standard Time. I'm up in my sewing room, cutting out quick sew 4262 capri pants. I'm tidying up my sewing room. Thanks, Sean, for the motivation. Oh, you're welcome, Mary, and thank you for joining us. Jennifer says, good morning to Mary, and yay for pants. Trousers, if you're in the UK. Jennifer says, my husband is snoring beside me. Thank goodness for a silent keyboard attachment on the iPad. Sal says, all the boxes openings are giving me what's in the box 7 movie vibes. Thankfully, nothing quite so disturbing. Elena says to me, if you're interested, try and follow the trial. Starts at 14:30 your time on Legal Bites channel. I have been following little bits of it on a different, I think it's Law and Entertainment channel, I think. Yeah. Anna says, I thought I recognised the strawberry fabric. Yeah. Mary Ellen says, what does NCW stand for? Necessary Clutch Wallet. Michelle says, did you say Star Wars? Sign me up for that one. Maybe I ought to. I haven't made an NCW in a long time. There's still a lot of cutting out left to do on all of those as well. I think there was only one in there that had every single piece done. Maybe I ought to sit down and have a little sesh of making some of them up. I don't know, but I'm thinking about it, because I was going to just give them all away. But thinking about it and going through that again, there are some prints in there that I love. Like, I really, really love the mushroom print particularly. And I'm thinking that it'll be nice to have at some point in the future. Like, you know, I might get to a point where I'm just like, oh, yeah, fancy doing that. And yeah, I think maybe I'll keep them. Yeah. Michelle's, oh, we read that one. Noelia says, haha, Sal, I know what you mean. Open the box. Anna says to Mary, it's a necessary clutch wallet. Carolyn says, am I seeing a weekend retreat with NCWs? Anyone else? I haven't offered an NCW retreat before. I have taught the class at Beautiful Things HQ a couple of times, but I haven't done it as a retreat, or one of the bags that I've picked for the retreat. One of the ones I did think about doing was the Penny Inn. You definitely would need 3 days for that one. This is a beast. And that's another reason that I think maybe not, because it is a bit of a beast for certain machines to go through all those layers. But it is a really, really lovely little purse. I did suggest maybe doing a purse this time round, but Lynn made a very good point that it's, whilst it's just as much sewing, it's so impressive to sew like a bag, because that's something that everyone sees. So yeah. Mary Ellen says, thanks, no worries. Jojo says, lol, my ears pricked up at Avengers. I wonder why. I've got 2 of those. It's, like I say, it's the old pattern, so it's slightly smaller. She updated the pattern, and I hadn't realised this the very first time I did the retreat. Everyone had bought the new pattern, and we were all cutting it out. And when it came to card slots for the old one, you cut it down to 3 3/4 inches, so 7.5 inches wide, and it does fit your cards in it. You have to be really precise with the sewing. But for the new one, you cut it down to 8 inches, which is what it should have always been. And so everyone was making their new patterns, making their bag from the new patterns. And I was working from the 2017 instructions, so I told them all to cut it down to 3 3/4 inches from the center divide. And then when they came to sew it in, it was too small. It was like, oh my god! So we ended up we made it work, but I hadn't realised the pattern had been updated. So yeah, that was a bit of one of those moments where it's just like, oh no, I fluffed up. It was the first ever class I taught as well. It was like Claire from Penguin and Pear was there, bless her. She was like, "Oh, you were so good. You did it. You did really well." I'm like, "Oh." Um, yeah, it took a long time to get persuaded to do another class after that one. Sal, Jennifer says to Sal, I was thinking a regular unboxing video, not 7. Diane Runcorn says, Hola, love the outfit you're wearing. Thank you. Thank you. I made this sew over it cow neck t-shirt very long time ago with the offcuts from the 7319 that I made as well, which I have since sold. I do love this very, very much. Very much indeed. I need to get some more of it so I can remake that dress with the cotton jersey rather than the viscose jersey underlayer. Where did I get to? Charlotte C says, "Hi Sian, sell the cutout pieces for a Peeps sew along." Possibly. The thing is, as I say, it's a 2017 pattern which is no longer available. So you'd have to buy the new NCW pattern, and then I'd have to send you the old 2017 file because the instructions are very different. I can't remember if I did the instructions for my videos from the old pattern or the new pattern either. And there are a few things that I do very differently now as well for those. So I don't know. I just looking through that one again, it's like I should just give those away. I should. But like I say, it's the pattern that's not available now. It's the old pattern, the original. And some of them I'm just like, oh, but they'd be so cute if I made them up. But I just know I'm never going to make them up. And if I do make them up, it would be to sell, not to keep. So maybe at some point I might do that. Jennifer says to Jojo, I have tons of Star Wars Avengers fabric. All the best people do. Megan says to Jennifer, why, thank you. You have such a sunny personality. She does indeed. Mary says, hi Jennifer, just starting my summer sewing. Nice. Michelle says, my next May NCW, and I'm going to find me some Star Wars fabric. That one was from Spoonflower, and I made my niece a dress with it. Let's see if I can find the photo I did yesterday. Albums, library, years. It's a fairly early on picture. To see if I can just see it scrolling through. Yet another live stream where I'm trying to find a photo on my phone. But yeah, my niece ordered this kind of large scale gingham fabric from Spoonflower, and it had Darth Vader and Stormtrooper heads in it. And I made her a dress, although I did kind of fluff up on the waistband. I got it all beautifully pattern matched and everything aligning, but I fluffed up on the color. So there's a stripe of Darth Vader heads going through the middle rather than the alternating, which it should have been. Can I find this photo? Can I find it? I know I made the dress after I moved into this house, so it should be coming up. It's a Deer and Doe Belladon dress. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit her anymore. But it is a very cool dress. If I can find a photo of it. I can't look up because I will lose my place. Oh, there's the fabric. So that's the large scale gingham with Darth Vader heads and Stormtrooper heads. So where is the dress? Should be fairly, because I remember making it fairly quickly after getting the fabric in, because I think it was for a birthday present, which is very unlike me. Most of the times I think I still owe my niece a large NCW. Where is this picture? I saw it the other day. Trying to scroll fast enough so that there it is. Yeah, it's the Deer and Doe Belladonna dress, and I totally fluffed up on the middle and aligned everything where it should have been a stormtrooper in the middle, not a Darth Vader. But it is a very awesome dress. Very awesome indeed. That was a Christmas present. So yeah. Where do we get to? Jennifer says to Megan, "Oh, thank you. I try because I want to be a good wrench for Sean." Thank you, Jennifer. Power of the wrench. Carolyn says, "Your NCW tutorial, Sean, is how I found you years ago. I still use it to this day. Thank you." Oh, you're welcome. I think it might be the outdated one. I think it's, oh no, I do think it's the new one. I do think it's the new one. Jennifer says to Megan, "Also, I love meeting all the peeps since I moderate the group." And Sal says, "I want a silk fabric of the matrix code so that I can sew it sew it on a suit. So would like the suit is made from the code." Ooh, that would look very cool. Michelle says that fabric is awesome. Yes. Jennifer says, "Love the Darth Stormtrooper fabric." Yep. Megan says to Jennifer, "You wear it well. Thank you for doing it. This is my beloved Sunday routine because everyone is so lovely." It is indeed. Jennifer says, "My next tattoo is going to be a baby Yoda Grogu on my calf. Can't wait." Nice. Michelle says, "Awesome dress." And Jennifer says, "Love the dress." Thank you. Yeah, I haven't made anything for my niece for a while. I think the last thing I made her was her wool coat, which was about 2 years delayed. But it did look lovely on her. Right, so let me put away my excess sticker paper. Sorry, it's going to be crumply. So let me put that away without leaning on anything that I shouldn't. Hopefully, there we go. That's better. Right, okay. So this is Mum's, so I'm going to give that back to her. So I was thinking, if I can find it, I have got in here somewhere a skirt. Is that the one there? Yes, this is it. What's this piece from? That's the back of the trench coat. That should go there. And then this is the skirt. Now, did I cut out the pockets? I haven't cut out a lining for the waistband, I don't think. But I can get some of this sewn today. Actual sewing. Who'd have thunk it? But yeah, that's the waistcoat. I think that's the waistcoat. That could be the Sorrento jacket. In fact, that is the Sorrento jacket. So this is the waist. This is the trench coat. That's all trench coat. So where is this Sorrento jacket gone? Huh. Here it is. What? There we go. So that bit goes there. Okay. So yeah, I got some of the waistband cut out, but I didn't get all of the waistband cut out. So I need to do that in a second. That can go back in over there. My machine, a little bit of a dust. Okie dokie. Right. Let's put this away. And turn the machine on. I've got black thread on the machine at the moment. Oh, should have put my paper scissors away. And if I don't put them away now, I'll forget where they are and then I'll get lost and I will have to spend time trying to find them. So put them away as I go. In theory, that works. Okie dokie. Right, machine is turning on. So pockets first. Pocketses. Lots of pocketses. Now, do I need this to? I can't remember. I'll leave it out for now just in case. We'll move all this over here. And I think I'm going to go for, if I can get it out, which I probably will have to move something to be able to get it out, which is a bit annoying, but never mind. There we go. Just making a giant mess. Is that the same one? Double check. Right. Okay, so a very lovely Karin sent me, I think there was 63 meters if they have not cheated on this of the rainbow satin bias binding. She found it in Germany and sent it over to me. I'd gone through quite a few of the prim square boxes of it, and Karin was just like, I know where I can get an entire reel. Would you like it? So I said, yes, please. Thank you very much. So I've got little short lengths of it in here for some reason. Oh, I think this has been sewn onto something and then taken off. But I think it is exactly the same width. It is indeed. Oh no, it's slightly smaller. So I'm keeping this for a small project. So I will put that back in its little baggie together and I will use it off of the reel. So put that back in its drawer. Okay. Don't need this quite yet, but I think I'm going to use rainbow bias binding. I'm wearing exactly the same skirt in the dark denim, and I've got the bias binding on the rainbow bias binding on the inside of this. And staying true to form, I'm going to use it for the black one. And I think it goes well enough with Cobra Corsage. Like maybe it's a little bit too bright for the muted colours of this, but I'm using the Lena Crepe, which is brighter, so it'll be fine. And this is only going to be lining the pockets anyway. You're not actually going to see the Cobra Corsage as a finished item. And technically these pockets, the pattern doesn't call for these pockets to be lined. You just have to turn the edges under. But I much prefer to fully line them because I prefer how it looks. And this is me we're talking about, and this is my skirt, so I can do whatever I like with it. So let's sew these together. Now there's definitely a right side and a wrong side with this fabric, and the right side is softer than the wrong side. So make sure I'm sewing these the correct way, and currently that is right sides together. So where did we get to with the chat? Sal says, may the Schwartz be with you. I mean the force. Carolyn is laughing. Jennifer's laughing at Sal. Carolyn's laughing at Sal. Anessa says, I was sewing my son a bomber jacket yesterday. Yesterday until I realised it didn't have a zipper, and I put it on him and it's pretty fitted. Oops! Now I've got to get a bigger pattern. Oh no! Bethany says, I have a corset that does the matrix code with LEDs. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Carolyn says, 160 watching. Don't forget to hit this, the like, sweet peeps. So yes, 146 of us at the moment and 83 likes. Sal says to Bethany, that's epic. If you have any photos, please post on the Peeps group. Diana says, hello, I'm making a cashmerette honeyborn dress of ivory viscose with a large flower print. What should I line it with? Plain ivory viscose. She says it's quite transparent. Yeah, I would go for plain ivory viscose. You want your lining fabric to behave the same way as your outer fabric, and so viscose is very floaty and drapey, so you want to go for something floaty and drapey. Jennifer says to Bethany, that is awesome about the corset. Monica says, I'm still here pinning my sleeves to the bodice. I forgot how slow I need to go to get things right. Nobody is going to know how long it took you when you're finished, and as long as you're happy with the results, you do you. Carolyn says, I thought giant messes were mandatory. I mean, it's organized chaos. Like, you know, organized chaos. Like you just saw, one of the pattern pieces from another project had gotten itself attached to this one. And thankfully, I can sort of like recognize what is what and where it is come from. But still, organized chaos. But I do like to put like my tools and stuff back once I've used them, because otherwise I can so easily get turned around and lose a pair of scissors or something. Mum's constantly doing that. She's putting things in safe places and then like can't find them. Jennifer says, FYI, members, remember to like the stream. Oh yeah, we're getting better. We've got 144 peeps and 93 likes now. It really does help, I promise. Like the interaction, not just watching the video, but like interacting with the video. That's why I sort of say, if you've got nothing to say in the comments, just a little emoji is brilliant. And it really does help. Like the commenting, the interacting, the sharing of videos is so important, because it shows the algorithm that the audience is engaged, not just kind of like passively watching in the background, although that might be something what you're actually doing, especially if you're rewatching one of these long streams, but actually like coming back and putting the comment in the stream. It's really helpful. Sal says to Bethany, I live in Sydney and have seen most of the filming locations of The Matrix. I've stood on the exact spot Neo puts the phone down after he flies off at the end. Laurie says, hello all, I'm working on aprons for my daughter's wedding shower. Oh, how lovely. Thank you for joining us. Vanessa says, I think one of us needs to send Sian some of those A3 project bags everyone is using. If I put it in a bag, though, it'll probably never see the light of day again. Bethany says, I have a whole video in the Peeps group. It has 6 different behaviours, so I shared it to start at that section. Awesome, thank you. Diana says, love the rainbow bias binding. We're using rainbows to remember my daughter. Oh, how lovely. I mean, you know what I mean. Yeah, the rainbow bias binding, I saw it first time on the Great British Sewing Bee. Somebody was using it for their walkaway dress. It was just like, whoa, I need that. I think I've gone through 2 boxes, and then, as I say, Karen has sent me this one all the way from Germany, which was incredibly sweet of her. Very, very kind. I have some very lovely friends in my Peeps group. Red Evie says, hi Peeps, hello, welcome, thank you for joining us. Nimue says, as we're talking about bias binding, may I use your PO box to restock mine? Seems most sellers do 6 meters or 200, and the 2 I tried that had decent lengths, the quality was very meh. Of course you may, my love. If you get it ordered in time, you can collect it yourself in a couple of weeks. Well, not even that. It's less than it's a week on Tuesday, isn't it? But yes, that's not a problem at all in my way. Alana says, about patterns, I posted in the Peeps group a link to a site where all the patterns, there are hundreds, are free, and the patterns are with good instructions, and only minuses, they are printable. Ah, thank you. Stitch Rip Repeat says, hi Peeps, hello, welcome. Anne says, hello, from Norway, or hi from Norway, with a cat in a box. Cutie in the box. Diane says, I wish I could watch the Great British Sewing Bee. I think you can do it if you've got like a VPN. I do think some of them are on YouTube as well. Right. So this is, my bias is stretched out massively on the edges of my pockets. So I'm going to try and, only on the lining, not on the outer. So I'm going to try and fudge it and see how that goes. Wish me luck. Okay. Oh, I have got one down. Yes, there we go. I'm trying to decide if I want to do the top stitching on this skirt with rainbow thread, or if I want to do it with just plain black thread. I'm leaning a bit more plain black thread because I just think it would just make it much more versatile. Like I like the idea of the rainbow top stitching, but I do think it would make it kind of a little bit less hardworking in my wardrobe. Might have to have a cookie, you know, my tummy is rumbling. All the cookies. Sal says to Bethany, the corset is awesome and I subbed your channel. Ah, cool. Evie says, got to cutting out some more curvy bits and I'm suddenly scared to touch the fabric. And I'm trying to come up with other things. Oh, excuse me, other things that need to be done instead. Lol. You can do it. You can do it. Spray starch is your friend. Oopsie. Being attacked by pins now. Nimoy says, I use TV mucho to watch the Great British Spelling Bee. You only get 1 hour of British TV a day on the free account, so it fits perfectly. You do have to catch it live. The recording thingy never worked for me. Ah, good knowledge. Knowledge. Yeah, we're going to try and watch the Great British Sewing Bee on the pizza and pajama night. Usually I make you all watch a movie, but as Lynn pointed out, it will be the second episode that week, and the actual night it comes out is the gala dinner, so we can't watch it that night, but we can definitely do a catch-up on the pizza and pajama night. Elena says rainbow works with everything. Yeah, but it's really bright. That's the trouble. It's very bright, and I might want to wear this with more muted things. It's definitely something I'm thinking about, and I've got until I finish these pockets to make the decision. But I think I'm going to go with black top stitching. Just because I just think it will make this skirt way more versatile, and I definitely want a black kind of twill skirt to be a versatile piece rather than only to be worn with very in-your-face pieces kind of thing. Just concentrating on this bit, making sure those bits that are slightly stretched in the bias didn't get any wrinkles in them. I think I've managed it. So now stitch around the outer edge. Bethany says, oh, thanks. Most of my costuming stuff is on my other channel, Lady Lilith Designs. The dress that you've just finished, Bethany, is totally gorgeous. That's for the prior attire gathering in May. Is it in May in Bath? Jennifer says, yeah, the recording never works for me either, but I can't do live because it's when I'm at work. Oh, Rachel Lynn says, I wish I could come. And Anessa says, I vote black top stitching. Yep. I vote not poking myself with pins. Ouchie. Idiot child. Ouchie. Let's do one more stitch. Yes, that's better. Okay, I've turned my iron on with plenty of time. So I just need to trim the seam allowances down, turn it through and press these. Then I can top stitch the opening edge. Then I can attach them to the front skirt panel. Let's see. Bethany says it's next weekend in Bath. Yes. Oh, you guys are going to have so much fun. So much fun. Right. So trim down my seam allowances. and the corners so that they turn through nicely. I do have a black circle skirt from, I think it's a, I think it might be a crepe. No, I think it is a rayon. And I do kind of pull that out every now and again. I haven't for a while because for a while it didn't fit me, but I think it might fit me again. So I need to have a look at that. And that one I've also finished with rainbow bias binding on the inside. I'm going to be using the rainbow bias binding to bind all the edges of the inside of my Lizon trench coat as well. So I think that's going to look really cool. I am interlining the Lizon trench coat with this Lena crepe as well because I think it's going to look nice. Okay, so we have one pockets. Need to poke through that end, and let's just trim off all the threads and excess seam allowance from this one. There goes the thread. Where did I get to with the chat? Nimue says, I'm lucky to only be an hour off from the UK time. I just have to hurry home from dance class. Jojo says, I've been watching Liz from Sewing Bee on YouTube making her outfits for the Victorian ball. Very cool. Noelia says, slightly off topic, but have you heard of the Bridgerton podcast? I've been listening to it and it's very interesting with some behind the scenes info. I haven't. I'm actually not really one for podcasts. I'm not quite sure why. I'm sure if I found like an interesting one, then I would get hooked. I am on book 8 of the Bridgerton series, the Gregory story. I have been thoroughly enjoying them. They've been light, fluffy, and a lot of fun to listen to. I like the author's, the narrator's voice, which is always important with an audiobook. Okie dokie. Right, so that's one thing I'm glad that I lined the pockets of this skirt, but one thing I do regret, let me just make sure the iron doesn't turn itself off. One thing I do regret with this denim one is, can't really see it, but there's, yeah, a little bit of, I lined the waistband of this one with a really light viscose, and I haven't finished it yet actually. I need to finish that skirt. It's still hanging up. It's a half circle skirt. I think I've lost the waistband, but I think I can do it without a waistband if I do a lining, and it does need a lining because it is basically see-through, that fabric. There we go. But it's still hanging up in Mum's wardrobe. There's a couple of bits and pieces in Mum's wardrobe that I need to get out and get down here so that they can be altered, because that's what all these are back here, is things that I would like to alter for the summer. So that Dolce & Gabbana dress, I think I told you in the waffle, I just erred too much on the side of caution when I was making it. Oh. And it's way too big. It was way too big back then. So it's definitely way too big now. And then there's some other bits and pieces back there that just need some tweaking. So I need to get those done at some point. That's probably going to be a video for a week, because we all know how I feel about alterations. I am not a fan. Definitely need some more water in my iron. not making any steam whatsoever. That is better. Right, I won't be long. Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. This Lena crepe actually presses quite nicely. I mean, the cotton twill that I'm sewing it with presses amazingly, so that's definitely helping it to behave itself a bit more than it usually might. Okay, we saw one pocket. Let's do the other one. I love the pockets on this skirt. They are giant. I think Alex would call them kitten smuggling pockets. Couldn't fit Chiana in there now, but I could when she was teeny tiny. It's Chiana's birthday soon. She's going to be 9. At least I think she is. She's either going to be 9 or 10. I think she's 9. Second pocket done. How old is she? It's her birthday on the 28th. I remember that. Yeah, she's going to be 9 because I've had her since 2013. My little baby kitten. I'm trying to find my first photo of her. Got lots of photos of my cat. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. That's my first, 25th of June I got her. 2013. So she's going to be 9. Look how cute she is. Oh, that little innocent face. The innocence did not last long. Right, a little bit top stitching. Number 5. There we go. There we go. Right, because I always forget to top stitch the edge of the pockets, and then I pin them to the skirt front, and then I'm like, oh, I need to top stitch that. And when I did my last one, I actually did 2 rows of top stitching. I really like how that looked. It's my green denim one. Because I've only done 1 row of top stitching on this one. So I shall do the same. I shall have 2 rows of top stitching because I like how that looks. Proper concentration face. So yeah, okay. So I've just used my edge stitch foot, and I'm now going to use my regular foot. And that way I'll get 2 lines of uniform top stitching. Well, in theory I will. So you probably cannot, oh, you can just about see. So it would look nice with kind of like decorative top stitching, definitely, but I do think it would limit how much I would wear this skirt, which might sound ridiculous, but I do think it probably would limit how much I wear the skirt. So I think this is the best bet. And my bobbin is running out. It's currently on 18%. So we'll see. We shall see how that goes. See how I can get these sewn to the skirt front. That would be nice. Okay. Now, I do need my skirt front piece, which this one is. And I need to mark on the pocket placement. Where did I get to with the chat? Jennifer says, I love Julia Quinn's writing style and I'm glad she's got her work brought to life. Yes. Rachel Lynn says, do you read Patricia Briggs? I haven't, no. Jennifer says to Rachel Lynn, I do, but I'm sure you're asking Shan. I love PB. I shall have to check it out. Rachel Lynn says to Jennifer, did you see that Amazon has optioned the Mercyverse for a TV show? Ooh. And Jennifer says to Rachel Lynn, yes, I did. Sal says, I'm going to start reading my stories and put them onto YouTube. I'm going to start with the story of where I got my Strata Strong from, called Weather Forecast is Death. Cool, very cool. You'll have to let us know. And Dave on a Rave is here. You have to let us know when you put them up, Sal. Okay. So I need to mark my pocket placement so that, because they kind of, they don't just go on flat, they go on with the point in a certain place so that they kind of do, you know, stand away from the body kind of thing, which is one of the things I very much like about this skirt. So I need to try carefully to put those placement marks on. Which is always a bunch of fun to do. So that's where my pocket starts. Really probably should try and do this on a larger flat surface when I'm cutting this thing out. But that would be sensible, and we all know how I feel about sensible. So that's one done. Constantly trying to make my life difficult for myself. Why do I do this? Oh dear. Kind of have to giggle, don't you? Okay. There we go. Yeah, why transfer over the markings when you're cutting these things out? Why not wait until you're this far into the project? I mean, you know. Right. There we go. Nice. Okie dokie. So Colette says, hello Shan and Peeps, hope everyone is well. I'm watching this and simultaneously watching Shan's tutorial while making the McCall's 7945, but my viscose is misbehaving. How very dare it! It's a beautiful dress though, so it'll be worth it when you get there. But how very dare your viscose misbehave? Wow, words are hard. How dare your viscose misbehave on you is what I'm trying to say. Clearly very badly. Linnea is here. Hello, hope you're all well. I'm resting a bit before sorting some baby stuff, maybe some sewing later if I have the energy. I loved your pregnancy shoots that you put up on the Peeps group, Linnea. That looks beautiful. Dave and Array says, oh, you are wearing what you're making. Yes, I am making another version of the same skirt because I do wear it so frequently. So it kind of just made sense. And I cut a trench coat and a Sorrento jacket out of this fabric, and I had just enough to squeeze out this skirt. And I do love this skirt. So I thought, you know what? Let's make another one, because a black twill or a black denim skirt is always going to be a useful thing in one's wardrobe. So, yeah. Right. Now here's where that little registration mark that I put in comes into play. Really try to make sure that the lining fabric is not peeking out either. It's the one thing you have to be careful of with using a very, very different type of fabric, or two very different fabric types together, because the floopy one underneath is trying to misbehave. We shan't have any misbehaving. Okay, so that's one bit in. Yeah. Let's do this bit. Laurel said, good morning from Chicago. Good morning, Laurel. Dave and Arave says, sorry, late to the party. That's not a problem at all. Welcome. It's nice to see you. Rachel Lynn says, do we have a you should read this thread on the Peeps group? We do. What do you guys think about me opening a Discord server for the Peeps group? Because at the moment, the Facebook group is awesome for like day-to-day chat and catch up and stuff. But we have started a what you should read thread before, and I there's only so many things that I can pin to the top of the page. And with a Discord server, I need to have a look and see how much it would cost. But with a Discord server, we could have like specific topics like book recommendation thread and, those kinds of things. So I was thinking, again, very much dependent on cost. But I was thinking that I might have a look into that. But please do start another, if you title it something along the lines of April 24th hangout thread book recommendations, feel free to start a new thread in the Peeps group. Sal says, as soon as I do, I'll put it up in the Facebook Peeps group if that's okay. It certainly is, Sal. Dave Narave says, love the belt you're wearing with the skirt. Do you take belt wearing into consideration when making skirts, measuring waists, etc.? Looks stylish. I probably should more than I do, but no, I tend to just kind of, I have a large collection of belts. So I tend to have one that will work with most things, or like I have a solution for most different types of waistbands and stuff. Okay. Probably ought to just sew on that one pocket before I put too many pins in this other side, because I can just imagine myself sticking my hand with all of my pins. So let's do this one side first, get that into place, and then I can really work on the other one. So I've just basted the top of the pocket into place, but this is the actual top stitching that I'm doing now that's going to be visible. I'm doing it with my edge stitch foot first. And I am trying to keep everything flat. And keep the pocket lining underneath. Because I want to try and avoid what I've happened with this one, which was a little bit of the pocket lining kind of peeking out in the corners. So yeah, I'm trying to avoid that. And I am glad that I didn't pin that other pocket completely down, because it is trying to stab me with the few pins that it has in it. So yeah, I'm going to get this first line of top stitching done for both sides. Oh. And then I'm going to go back with my other foot to put in the second line of top stitching to match what I've previously done. And I'm glad I went for the black, because I've just missed a stitch at the end there, which would have been really obvious in rainbow, and probably got to the point where I'll be like, nope, need to unpick that because I don't like how it looks. There we go. Last little bit, just basting these sides into place. This is a brushed cotton twill that I got from fabric.com, and it feels so lovely and soft. So I'm going to have 3 whole garments made out of it, which is going to be exciting. I do think the little denim jacket is going to be very useful. I wore my little green one out the other day. I went to the cinema to see Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore, I think that's what it's called. I enjoyed it because it's a Harry Potter movie, but it was one of those ones where it was just like they were trying to do so much in such a short space of time. It got to the point where it was kind of like, this is 3 movies in one. And I think that the Harry Potter movies themselves, like the original ones, I remember going and seeing The Philosopher's Stone at the cinema and being really disappointed. And then I went and read the book again because I had previously read the book, and but not for a couple of years. And I remember watching the book again and just being like, sorry, reading the book again and watching the movie again and enjoying it much, much more because I was filling in all the bits out that they missed out from the book. I was filling it all in my head and like the background stories of all the characters and stuff. And I think because there are no books for Fantastic Beasts, and I know she is helping to write the screenplays, but there's obviously a limit to what can be put into a movie. I do understand that, but I just think that it might have benefited from being a little bit longer. There was a lot of stuff that happened that was kind of just really important, but really the descriptions that you got were really kind of throwaway, quick, like, there wasn't exposition, I think that's what it's called. But yes, so that was a really tangenty way of telling you that I wore my green denim Sorrento jacket out the other day. And I'm very pleased that it's back to being Sorrento kind of jacket weather. So again, I'm trying to just make sure that the lining really is going to stay on the inside. Let's see, where did I get to? Where did I get to with the chat? Debbie says, if you, through all the trouble of making twirls and making adjustments, why not make several of what you love? I'm 100% preaching to the choir, Debbie. I totally agree with you. That's why I have so many of some of my favorite dresses, because I've gone to the trouble of making them fit me. So I want, and I like them, so I want more of them. Linnea says, thank you, Shan. It was pleasantly surprised for the results of the photo shoots. The Sicily slip dress looks particularly lovely on you. Jojo says, existential crisis ensues. I don't think I have enough fabric to finish the skirt on my dress. Arg. No. Oh no, Jojo. Bree says, oh no. Can you line the swag with like a black? That could look nice. Jennifer says, go for it. There is no cost for Discord. Oh, okay, cool. Because I saw something that was like it's £100 or something, and it was like, oh, okay. Ooh. But yeah. Rachel Lynn says, a Discord server might be interesting, but I don't know how it works. Nimoy says, Discord servers are handy because it is easy to have chats for separate topics, also allows for more direct conversations between people that are online together. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that it might be a good place, because we do talk about so many different topics. And I love the Facebook group for that. And I'm not planning on retiring the Facebook group or anything. The Discord server would be an addition to it. But I just think the one thing I'm worried about is moderators for it, because I wouldn't be able to pay anyone to moderate it. So it would be something that I'm slightly worried about. But I think it might be a good idea. I'm not a member of a Discord server at all, but I think it might be a good plan. So I'm going to have a look into it a little bit more. Joanne says, good morning. Sorry I'm late. First time on with you live, but love to watch the videos. Live outside Seattle, Washington, US. Welcome, Joanne. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And don't worry about being late. I know it's very early in the morning where you are. Linnea says to Jojo, oh no, will it work with a contrasting fabric? Regarding a Discord, I'm with Rachel. I could learn that. Nimoy says, and everyone can turn off notifications on threads that they aren't into. Well, if Discord does what you tell it to, we've had annoyed, desperate words in the past. Oh, wow. Okay. Jennifer says, Discord servers are great because people can chat individually without having to be Facebook friends. Cool. Evie says, I'd be willing to Discord too. Facebook gets a little scattered feeling to me, so I'm never on it. Yeah, I think that's the trouble, is like I see some stuff in Facebook and I'm just like, oh, where did that go in the feed? So I like the idea of organising things into topics. Jennifer says, and Discord can be a lot more organised. Alison says, good night, Shan and Peeps. I'm going to have an early night tonight, so do hope you all have a great weekend, whatever you are up to. Shan, please give Tiana a cuddle from me. Thank you, Alison. Thank you for joining us, and give Binks a cuddle from me. I was going to say a headbutt, but Not sure it's the same coming from a human to a cat, although I do headbutt Gianna back when she does it to me. Dave and a Rave says, random question, Sian and all. Both early morning and late evening can feel calm more time than during and where creativity oozes. Who prefers their mornings to sew and who prefers evenings and why? Was having a morning versus evening discussion the other day. The day itself can be a bit too busy for creativity. Alison says, I will post all of your patterns next week. Yours and the QQ's, Binks sends, purrs and headbutts. Thank you, Alison. And thank you to Binks as well. Dave on a Rave, I'm a night owl. I am not a morning person. I tend to get up in the morning, get sat on by Gianna when I'm trying to edit. I try and do like editing, emails, computer work, that kind of thing in the morning. Then I will come down here sort of like after lunch, and then I can easily and happily stay down here for hours into the late evening. It's usually my stomach rumbling that kind of reminds me that I ought to probably go and be a human and like interact with people. But I mean, this is also my job, so I am down here during the day and trying to be creative during the day because this is my full-time job. So I know that's very different for a lot of people. Oops. It's all right, it's in the side seam, so no one's ever going to see that, but I went too far again. Not properly concentrating. Now I'm concentrating. Okay. There we go. And turn the corner. Making sure my lining's not peeking out. Nimue says, I can show you the servers I'm on a member of next week. I'm not a moderator on either of them, but I'm happy to learn. It's not difficult from a user perspective. Cool. Caroline says, my son much prefers Discord. And Sal says, I do most of my creative stuff at night time. Yeah, I'm not an early bird and I'm not a night owl. I'm some kind of permanently exhausted pigeon. That's pretty accurate for me. And another one that I like is I don't have all my ducks in a row. I have squirrels and they're at a rave. Yeah, I'm quite tempted by a Discord server. I've never been a member of one, and I've never used one, but from what I've heard, I think it will be a good thing for us to have. I shall look into it a little more. Just using the edge of a pen to kind of fold the lining properly under. Okay, so that's my edge stitching done, and my bobbin is dyed, and so has my upper thick by the looks of things. I literally won bobbin roulette then, and I mean there's still quite a bit of thread on there, but I'll keep that for the hand sewing that I need to do. So bobbin roulette has been achieved. Thread. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh dear. Monica says, mid-morning, I need at least an hour for tea and sitting. Nights after a 12-hour shift during the day, I'm exhausted and go to bed by 9:30 p.m. and get up at 5:30 at 5:30 and have 2 days off. That was one of the reasons I left my job as a croupier. I loved the hours, except when they made me do a graveyard shift, which started at 6:15 a.m. I am not a morning person. I do not function well in the mornings. And I stupidly, well, I mean, not stupidly, but they never promoted me. I was always a trainee. I learnt to deal Punta Banco, and I was one of the only bunnies that did. And that meant that they constantly put me on graveyard shifts because there were some Chinese players who wanted to play Punta Banco through till the wee hours of the morning and longer. And I couldn't swap with any of the other bunnies. And there were some bunnies who loved doing the 6 a.m. start to a 2 p.m. Shift. They loved it, but they didn't deal Punta Banco. So when I got the shift and tried to swap, they wouldn't let me because they had to have a Punta Banco dealer. And I was still a trainee, getting paid the same as all the other girls that were three game dealers, not 4 game dealers. And you know, I mean, I was still a trainee. I worked the same amount of time as any of the other girls. I just, for some reason, understood card. I mean, I've been brought up with card games since I was a tiny child. So I took to the card games side of things way quicker. And like roulette, I used to play as a customer, so I kind of understood the rules of that to a certain degree. Not the finer points of it. I obviously had to learn those. But yeah, card games. Give me a card game anytime. But as I say, I was one of maybe 3 bunnies out of 40 that dealt Punta Banco. And yeah. So I kept getting put on the morning shifts, and that was definitely one of my reasons for leaving. I did not enjoy 2-3 weeks at a time of graveyard shifts. They were not fun. Let's see, where did I get to? Laurel says, Dave, I'm inclined towards nighttime creativity, but I need better lighting at my sewing table. Monica says, I do full Friday sews on my days off from 10:30 a.m. until about 3 p.m. or even late if I think I can finish. I'm one of those as well. It's like if I think I can finish it in the day, then I'm just like, let's go. I've been known to sew till 1 a.m. because I'm like, I'm so close at like 11, and then still 2 hours worth of work left. But I'm still like, yeah, I can do it tonight. Jennifer says, I'm a member of several Discord servers. Susan says, thanks for the help with the bias binding maker. 2 new nighties later, I'm off to bed. Good night, peeps. Look forward to next week's get together. Thank you very much for joining us, Susan. Next week's could be an interesting one. There might be some special guest stars. Monica says, and Sunday sews with you all. Oh, thank you all. Nimue says, I'm also a night owl whenever life allows. Nothing ever happens before lunch unless I have to go to work. Rachel then said, my husband asked if I was the only one who said bobbin roulette or if it was a common term. No, definitely a common term. Davey says, I have discovered that Esme from the Sewing Bee made the bunny outfit in Bridget Jones. Oh, how cool. Very cool. I did not know that. Jennifer says, yeah, I wouldn't do well with graveyard shift either. No, I would much rather start work at 10 p.m. at night and work through till 6 a.m. in the morning. I would happily do that one. Like a whole week of it. And that was the thing with the graveyard shifts. It was a whole week of 6 a.m. till 2 p.m. like no shifting of the shifts. But when you did, because you worked 5 days, 2 days off, and then everything shifted every 4 weeks. When you started at 10 p.m. and worked through till 6, you'd do 1 or 2 of those. And then you do 9 till 5, then you do 8 till 4. Sometimes you'd get a 7 to 3, but very rarely. You then get like a 2 p.m. till 8 p.m. And then sometimes you'd get a midday till 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. And then sometimes, very rarely, you get a 12 till 8. on your last shift. So you'd have the whole evening, and then you'd have 2 days off. And then if you weren't doing a graveyard shift, you wouldn't start work until 10 p.m. on the like Monday, as it were. And I loved those, really, really loved those. But the graveyard shift, you finish at 2 in the afternoon. Yeah, that's nice. But I'd go home and go straight to bed, because I found that if I tried to get up at 4 a.m. to get into work on time, full makeup, the whole lot, for a 6 a.m. start, I couldn't do it, because I'd have to go to bed at 8 p.m. So what I used to do when I was doing the graveyard shifts would be come home at 2 p.m., go to bed, try and sleep from 3 till 11, and then get up at 11 and have my evening before I had to go to work at 6 in the morning. And that way I kind of functioned much better. My brain had woken up. So I'm definitely not a brain is awake first thing that I get out of bed kind of thing. So yeah, it was definitely one of the reasons I left, constantly being put on that shift. There were other reasons, but that was definitely a big one. Okay, so I'm doing my second line of decorative top stitching now. That first line secured the pocket to the skirt. I mean, this is obviously securing the pocket to the skirt as well, but this isn't necessary. It's just pretty. I mean, I did love working at the casinos. I really did enjoy that. Oh, I just ripped my nail. Yes, not too badly though. Ouchie. Yeah, I did love working at the casinos. I just oh, wrong side. There we go. It's better. It was limiting for seeing friends. You'd end up with weekends off twice a year, because it was kind of rolling 4-week shifts. So, you know, one 4 weeks you'd be starting on a Monday, finishing on the Friday night. But then the next time you'd start on a Tuesday and you finish on the Saturday night, and then you start on the Wednesday and finish on the Sunday, as it were. So you got 2 sets of weekends. You got 8 weekends off a year. Obviously you got holiday as well. We got 28 days of holiday, 20 days, and then the extra 8 was because we didn't get bank holidays off. We worked those with no extra compensation, which was fine. But the one that used to kill me is when the clocks changed. If you were unlucky enough to be on the shift where the clocks went back, you ended up working a 9-hour shift with no compensation for it. And they were like, yeah, but when the clocks go forward, those people do a 7-hour shift, because, you know, and it's like, okay, but you're the people that do in the 9-hour shift, you're not putting them on the 7-hour shift, so it all evens out. It's just arbitrary. I mean, that would have taken a lot of planning for them to get that perfect, but yeah, that one did kind of grate a little bit. And also, like Christmas and New Year's, you either got Christmas or New Year's off, which, again, I get. It's totally fine. But having been my own boss for such a long period of time, to then have to ask for holidays and stuff, it was just like, I'm not sure I approve of this. But it was a fun job. It was. I'm glad I did it. I am glad I did it. Okay, so we have a skirt front with pockets. It's just like a big black hole, isn't it? But yeah, skirt front. I think it's going to be a nice skirt. It's going to be a nice skirt. So I need to bias bind the edges of the side seams and the back center back seam now, so that I can then sew it all together, put the zip in, put the waistband on. I need to cut the waistband lining, and then hem it, because this one doesn't drop on the bias. But I think I'm actually going to call it a day, because I am hungry and I want to go and make myself a cheese and bacon salad, because it's yeah, my little tummy is just like, oh, some food now would be good. I'm probably going to come back down afterwards, but it's not a quick lunch to make and not a quick lunch to eat, so I wouldn't want to leave you guys sort of hanging for half an hour. But yeah, it's been really fun. Let's see. Natalie says, "Hi peeps, I'm late because my nephew came for a visit for the weekend, and we were up late chatting. Happy Easter to any fellow Orthodox peeps." Thank you for joining us, Natalie, and I hope you had fun with your nephew. Angela says, "My daughter just started work as a croupier. She's just started the training and is having to learn how to do the calculations in her head." Flashcards, 100% flashcards. Do I have? Oh no, I don't. I was going to say I don't have my handbook here, but yeah, so it's 5, 8, 11, 17, and 34 times tables, up to 20 flashcards, and then blackjack payouts as well, flashcards, and just go over it and 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 over it until ad nauseum. That's how I got through mine. And 17 times 8 is the same as 8 times 17, and I always want it's 134, and I'd always get one of them right and one of them wrong, which amused my niece greatly. Did I get that right? God, it's been a long time. I'm gonna have to calculate. 136. I did not get it right. See, 136. Yeah, but flashcards all the way. And chipping up was another one. You had to just practice at home. So yeah. Let's see. Elena says, "I create all new ideas at night and only add finishing touches at morning." Nice. Michelle says, "I'm not a morning person, but the husband and kids are. They wake at 5 a.m. every day. Can't complain too much since the littlest one used to wake at 3 to 4 a.m. Ooh, yeah." Carolyn says, "Night or day? Try whenever I get a spare second." Vanessa says, "I'm also a permanently exhausted pigeon, but I work around migraine, so try to sew when it doesn't hurt." Yes. Sal says, "Where I used to live for cosplaying and getting into Sydney for the Comic Cons, I had to get up at 5 a.m. to put on cosplay and get the train to get there by 10 a.m. Now I live in Sydney, I can get up at 8 a.m. Ah, cool." Jojo says, "Read in Joe Pesci." Okay. "I can get all the main skirt pieces out of this fabric. The sarong skirt hem facings will be pieced, but that's okay. Only I will see it. Phew. Ah, awesome. My raving squirrels are happy." Elena says, "Take us with you." Oh, you don't want to? No, not while I'm cooking. That's very boring. Plus, mum and dad are in the main house, so I need to give them some peace. I've got eyelashes trying to make a bit of freedom. Megan says to Jojo, "Love the Pesci reference. That was funny. Have a great day, everyone." Evie says, "Got most of the curvy bits cut with minimal problems. The good fabric was unscathed. Hopefully it will come out well enough to share pictures." Awesome, Evie. Nimue says, "Enjoy your food. I'm struggling through cutting the last 2 pieces of binding from misbehaving jersey, but then sewing." Awesome. Moran says, "Hi peeps, thank you for keeping me company while cleaning my home after the holiday. I hope you have some sewing in the evening." Good luck with that, Moran. I hope you get to sewing as well. Evie says, "Bacon and cheese salad sounds yummy. Enjoy." It's very good for keto as well. Just have to be careful with the dressing you put on it. Megan says, "I love that 17 or 18 was called mother-in-law hand. The dealer told me it's because you want to hit it, but you want to hit it, but you shouldn't." Oh dear. Natalie says, "Drat, I'll watch the replay and pretend you're still sewing with me. Serves me right for being late. Enjoy your cheese sandwich. Cheese and bacon salad, not sandwich." Jojo says, "Enjoy your lunch, lovely. See you on Friday." Wow, I know, I'm so excited. Yay. Anna says, I'm awake far too many hours of the day due to one thing and another. Thank you for your live. Happy Sunday. I shall see you on Tuesday, Anna. This is so exciting. Rachel then says, bye all. And then says, what pattern of your skirt? It's the Vogue 1743, just a skirt with a waistband smooshed on. And Natalie said, oops, I mean salad. That's okay, no worries. But thank you very much for joining me. Next Sunday is my birthday. I shall be 43 years old. So I also will have lots of guests with me. So I will have the very lovely Jojo, the very lovely Rachel, the very lovely Erica Lee, and the very lovely Natasha Tati, my bestie friend. I don't know if any or all of them are going to want to come on camera, but I think Rachel said she's up for it. And I think Erica said she was as well. But I don't know about Tati yet, and I don't know about Jojo, but I don't want to put them on the spot. But I think we're going to come on at least for a little bit and maybe have some cake and some Prosecco and sort of like say happy birthday. And then we are going to go, hopefully the weather, if the weather plays ball, we're going to walk from Sandown to Shanklin and to a very lovely pub on the seafront and have a spot of kind of like late lunch, early supper, if the weather plays ball. If it doesn't, I have no idea what we're going to be doing. So yeah. But anyway, I will see you next Sunday briefly. I don't know how long for, and I don't know how many people with, but I will see you next Sunday briefly. But I will see you during the week for the regular scheduled waffles and the proper video on Saturday, hopefully, if I can get it edited in time. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm going to go and get some lunch. I shall see you all next Sunday, and I shall see you for a waffle on Tuesday. And now I have to try and end it gracefully. Bye.